as it normally is today. Instead, we have an awesome opportunity to do some good, in the world. It's been fun this week, and with the bowling tournament that we already had. And we also have an opportunity today to add to that. And a lot of you were looking forward to it, too. I heard a lot of you already reach out about this day. So I'll explain momentarily. First up, I'm Jeff. That's Tom. Director Matthew in the house. On Twitter, it is at JCameronShow. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on Warchant TV, thanks for listening. If you're listening on 93.3 Real Talk FM, we do appreciate you very, very much. Thanks for doing all of that. Days get busier and crazier and more hectic, and especially when it's recruiting and NIL and rumors and the holidays and what are we getting done? What do we still have to do? What's real? What's not real? And also there's the matter of, the shopping for gifts and doing those things. So it's all there. I like the beanie again, Tom. You can wear those. I cannot. Not because I can't wear them and pull it off. I got a bald head, so anything kind of is better than that, I suppose. But it's too warm. You wear it all the way down like you're supposed to wear it. I can't do it.
Well, I think when we bowled the other night, I had to vent the ears a little bit.
It gets hot, man.
It gets warm. But
it gets hot.
You can only break this out for so many shows a year.
I know.
And so many events a year. So
it's like the sweatshirt you're wearing. Like I tried to wear a sweatshirt earlier in this week, and then it was great. I had my brand new Warchant sweatshirt that I wore the other night to our Christmas party, last night to our Christmas party. And then before that, I had the FSU one that I wanted to wear. It was glorious. Basically, if you live in Florida and it gets below 55, you've got to break out every cold weather thing you've ever owned. So you'll find Floridians walking around in massive coats and it's 52. You're like, well, it's the only chance I'm going to get to wear it, and I look great in it. I'm going to wear this. But, pretty soon, like it did yesterday, it goes from 35 at night to 60. And then you're stuck wearing a thing that's too damn hot. So I'm back in my T-shirt mode, everybody. T-shirt mode.
It's usually cooler in the studio, though. Yeah. It's a little toasty in the studio today. We can get that down.
We'll get that down. Yeah, we'll get that down. All right. I know everybody's pumped about the big Easton Stick Aiden O'Connell matchup tonight at quarterback. We'll all be tuned in. I'm sure Al Michaels, who's always in a good mood to call these games, will be really pumped when he has to announce that there's a game that he's tasked with broadcasting tonight, and it's Aiden O'Connell versus Easton Stick. And neither team has any chance whatsoever to go anywhere. They can't. I thought about the people today who had to do the promos, to write the promos. How do you write that promo? What is there to tell people to tune into and why? You don't have it. No, listen, there's no Allen. There's obviously you're in a situation, no Justin Herbert, broke his finger, out for the rest of the year. Neither team's going to the playoff. Raiders have lost a couple in a row. What do you tell people?
That the great Kirk Herbstreit will be in the booth tonight with Al Michaels.
You just don't have anything.
Tune in for Kirk. He's a star.
I got to tell you, this is a toughie. If you're Al Michaels, who's already bitter, how embittered are you now? Go get him, Al. Thing is, Al makes $1 million a year. Or a game.
Yeah.
A game.
Right, and he's still put out to be there.
I'm telling you, if I was flying it could be in a field of pig slop between 13-year-olds, and I would be like, this is going to be the greatest game of all time. Great to be here. Welcome in, everybody. I mean, goodness gracious, at $1 million per. All right. So today's show, and I'll get to FSU momentarily. Today's show is our opportunity to raise money, continue to raise money. I was reading the chat and it made me laugh. Probably sounded inappropriate. He's laughing about raising money for the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem. We did so on Monday during the bowling tournament. Great bowling tournament. It was awesome. We had a great time. Everybody who came out, we really, really appreciate you. And those that support it every year, which is now 20 years worth of bowling tournaments. Unreal. That is now a marker of time that reminds me that I've been doing this a long time and I'm old. But also, the better way to look at that is how long people have been supporting a really great cause. And today we get to, for the first time that we've been on the airwaves, we get to do something to add to that that's easy for everybody. And for people that are out of town or people that were busy that night, people just driving about, whatever it might be. I've explained it earlier in the week. We'll explain it again here. you have to go, and Tom does a better job of explaining this because he does the back channels, and I don't. I stay away from it. I say, hey, make this happen, and he makes it happen, and I'm forever grateful. So if you're a charity, if you're a company, if you're an organization, whatever, that would like to do good, when we raise money, for example, for the Red Cross during the hurricane,
Done some second harvest shows,
things of that ilk, you have to get pre-approved. You have to qualify. You have to do what you say what you do. You have to prove that you are who you say you are, and you have to they investigate all of this to approve you for what we have here today, which is the ability for people to click on a button here on the YouTube feed and donate, and 100% of the proceeds go to the cause that you're donating to. In this case, the Guardian Ad Litem, Second District. So this is how that works. Nothing goes to YouTube. Nothing goes to Google. Nothing goes to me or to you or to Warchant or 93.3. 100% of whatever it is you donate here today goes to the charity, which is awesome.
It's linked to their bank account, which is
100%.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's not like, okay, it gets stored somewhere, they got to go collect it. No, it goes directly to them. Google and YouTube do a lot of weird things. This is one of the great things that they do because, again, no processing fees. Like Google, YouTube, you know how it goes with credit card processing fees. I'm sure you're seeing, if you're out there in your local community, some restaurants are like, well, it's an extra 3% charge. Sorry.
Yeah.
These are the times. No, they eat all of those fees.
Yeah.
It is no middleman is involved. The donate button, that's why it looks different than the super chat
Where the hell
button.
is the donate button? I'm not even looking at this right, probably. Do I see it? Do I see the donate button here while we're doing the show?
Not on the StreamYard side, on the YouTube side only.
On the YouTube side.
So if you're on Facebook, if you don't mind clicking over to the YouTube side, if you're compelled to donate, this is a charity that will, if you really listen to them, you listen to the people who have worked for this Guardian Ad Litem, Second Circuit in the Big Bend for decades. If you hear what they do on a day-to-day basis, not just in the holiday season, this is a 365-day commitment per year. They are, oh my God. We started the show at north of $400. We're now over, would appear, 1,000.
Nice. We're off and running. Here we go. We're going big today. As much as you possibly can. These kids need it. It's tough. I worked as a counselor for Appalachia Center for Human Services long before I was a sports talk radio host. And I did that job while I was in college and after. And that job gave me some insights into the horrors of living in foster care. And seeing what that can do to young people and people that are 15, 16, 17 years old, or all the way down to 4, 5, or 6 years old. And, you can only imagine, right? One can only imagine. No mom, no dad around, no brother, no sister, nobody who's linked to you directly and has your best interest in mind. You're a ward of the state. And those kids bounce around a lot. They never know who to trust. They never know where they're going to be next. And it's hard. It's hard. It's a brutal situation. And so I tell you that to tell you this, because when I started in this field and we started doing these shows, I mean, nobody listened to me. Nobody was listening to me in the beginning. I mean, very few. There are some of you diehards that have been around for a long, long time. I'm forever grateful for that, of course. But there were people that, after a while built it up through word of mouth. And it was awesome. It was cool. We started realizing we had a bit of a listenership. And that made me feel very good. And I started to think, well, one of the things that's cool about that, I get to keep my job, get to keep doing this cool thing that I love. But also, now if we get enough people listening to us, just by virtue of having a forum, by having the medium, by being in the medium, and this is kind of easy. You could just like direct and shine some light on some things and say, hey, can we help out this group or that group and this group? And that has been the most rewarding aspect of it. And it's also been something that when you're down and out and you're frustrated and you're mad about the way people treat each other, or the way that people treat you, or the way that you witness others treat each other, whatever it might be, it's a reminder that those things are more outliers, that people deep down are good. And if they can give and they believe it's the right thing, and they know that nobody's getting rich off of them, or in some way it's a scam or a scheme or something, once they know it's the real deal, they show up. They always show up. The community always shows up. And that has been true of this for a very long time. And again, this is the first time we ever get to do it. So here we go. You'll see it on the YouTube feed. Click on it. Donate whatever you can. 100% of what you donate goes to the guardian ad litem. And they will ensure that kids who would otherwise get nothing on Christmas, have nothing on Christmas, will have some sort of a Christmas in the way that we traditionally view it, right? In the way that we think about our Christmases. If you were fortunate enough to grow up in a family that did this, that celebrated those things, such as each other and family and time together, and maybe you did so with a gift or a gift card or a shirt or whatever. You got something and you gave something and you sat around together around a tree and you opened it up and you all saw the look on each other's faces and you celebrated. These kids don't get that. And so this enables them to get something, because the people at the guardian ad litem are advocates for these kids, right? They have to help them in courts. They have to help them whenever there's a call for help. And they go and they see the situation that kid, that boy or that girl is enduring and dealing with, and they advocate for them. And this is one of the ways that they do that, to try to help them out. It's a lot more complicated.
They're heroes, man.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So going and seeing that, little Johnny is not going to have an electronic device that he'd love to have, whether that's, a gaming device or something, a football to throw with a friend or whatever it might be, they go and do that. And they take them and they take them Christmas shopping. They do that with the funds that they're able to collect through donations from people like yourself, right? So that's what that is. It's awesome. It's nothing short of incredible, and it's the best of us. It's the best of us, hands down. So if you can, please do so today. As Tom noted, right there on the screen, you click on it if you're watching on the YouTube feed. It's and you click on that, you donate whatever it is. I don't care if it's 5 cents or $5,000. Obviously, we celebrate every gift, and they will be forever grateful too. So do what you can. Now, I will remind you of that intermittently throughout today's show. Today's show is not all going to be me telling you about the guardian ad litem and what they do and how you can donate and all that. We will do a show. We will talk sports. We will look at Florida State and everything outside in the sports world as well. We certainly won't break down tonight's football game. Although I will tell you, Mario may have won the day by saying, well, good clash of uniforms. It is. It's a great clash of uniforms. Chargers Raiders is a good clash of uniforms.
High quality laundry.
High quality laundry.
Yeah, man.
And I do find myself in a position where, even though no Justin Herbert, the good news is without Herbert and Allen, they're sure to probably lose a bunch more games, and then they can get a real coach in there and maybe make something of all of the talent they have, including two Knowles that are on that roster who should be doing much, much better than they are. You shouldn't have that much talent and just wasting away by this bum.
It's the story of Derwin's career.
That is true. Yeah, Derwin.
It's like,
luckily Derwin's, he has shown through in the midst of all of that. He's made a lot of money. He's still well respected. He's been to the Pro Bowl. He's a good player. At least it's recognized that he's a good player. He just doesn't do a lot of winning because they have had tough situations wherever he's been.
Between him and Cam Akers, too. You think about it, what Cam was coming out of high school, and he was a good player here.
Yeah,
just a rotten
very
program.
Good player, yeah.
And then he's on the outs somehow, some way with McVay in Los Angeles with the Rams, and that was its own issue.
That was a weird issue, yeah. I never knew what happened there.
And then he goes to the Vikings this year, and he's off to a really good start. And I think it's an Achilles. I think that's what it was. So, I mean, within a game or two, he's done. That's a snake-bit career. Even more so than Derwin James has been. Derwin got to his second contract and got paid a lot of money. But poor Cam. Like, a lot of these guys that came through here, and you're like, I wanted better for you. But we didn't have the coaches who could do something about it.
We do now, and we're doing quite well, and it's 19 straight wins, and Florida State's in a position again to, I think, cash in, for lack of a better term, on National Signing Day, and obviously as it pertains to the transfer portal as well. We'll talk about that more in-depthly here in just a moment. It is the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Man, I just got a text from my wife. She wants me to cook dinner and then snuggle on the couch next to a roaring fire.
So what's the problem, Dave? You already got the new grill and you're a great cook.
I got one major problem. We don't have a fireplace.
Man, that's an easy fix. Just call Hearth and Patio. They got a lot of fireplaces that can help you for your romantic evenings. Wood, gas, electric, and a ton of different sizes, man. Call Hearth and Patio today, 850-727-4282, or visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio. Ignite that spark in your life.
Excellence defines us, so we'll never let orthopedic pain and injury define you. TOC is a physician-led team of fellowship-trained specialists, providing the highest level of orthopedic care in the region. With 12 centers of excellence and TOC Now urgent care clinics, our patients access affordable, expert care fast. TOC, only experts. Schedule an appointment at teamtoc.com.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to drink water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service, right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
To hit music and progress sound. No, you just come on back. There's nothing. We got nothing.
I clicked on Squire. Squire says not right now.
Man, you got to hit Squire again on the out because that's not what we do.
I mean, it is in the playing, but not loading position now, going on 30 seconds.
All right, Let's get the latest. What do we got in here? Swipe across the screen. Let me know where we're at when it comes to the number. I feel like I'm doing a telethon. In a weird way, I am. We've raised $1,615. We are 25 minutes into the show. Great work. We can do better. Let's roll, my friends. Let's get this thing plowing up over 3,000 before the end of the hour easily. Easily. That might happen in like 5 minutes. We know we got some heavy hitters out there who cannot wait. But it takes a team. It takes everybody. Let's make it all happen. All right, so let's look at the portal. Again, if you're asking, you can do it directly on YouTube. 100% of the proceeds. Not a penny goes to me. Nothing goes to Tom. Nothing goes to YouTube. Nothing goes to Google. Nothing goes to this station. Nothing goes to Warchant. 100% to the Guardian Ad Litem. That's it. That's all. There is no hidden anything. No commission, nothing. All right, back to this. Let's look at the announcements so far. So yesterday, Tom, was one that I didn't get a chance to talk to you about, and I think has to hit you in the gut. Rodney Hill said that he intended, at the very least, to enter his name into the transfer portal. Now, I differentiate.
That's where it is. Yeah.
Intended.
And yes.
Okay. So this is what I do. This is now. I don't come in to talk everybody off the ledge, but in part, I have to kind of talk everybody off the ledge. First, I start by talking myself off the ledge, but I also get confirmation and I check things out. I try to look and find out what's what. Do we know? What do we have? What is real? What's not real? What's perceived? All of it. We have to do a lot of that in everyday walks of life these days, given what social media is, what the internet is, and what's, all that. But what NIL is and what transfer portal is now a kind of a bargaining tool for kids is what we're seeing. And a lot of players will say, hey, I'm intending to enter the transfer portal and I'm frustrated or whatever else. I hate that it has to come to this. So we documented this the other day with Patrick Payton. And I said, well, maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I don't really worry about it until they actually do it, because you actually have to take steps to do it. See, there's more than just sitting on your couch and tweeting. You've got to go to the university. You got to fill out paperwork. You have to talk to your coaches and players. You got to go do things. It takes steps. Like I have a wooden house. I have a wooden facade my home does, right? I intend to treat that real soon. You have to treat it. That way you don't get things that like to eat wood messing with your house. Woodpeckers and the like, plus the bugs. Well, it sucks to have to do. It's a nice look on the outside, but to keep it that way, you got to do stuff, and it sucks. I have told my wife many times, well, I'm gonna treat that soon. Well, I have the best intentions, I assure you, Tom, but I have yet to drive up to Lowe's to get the stuff and then set up the ladder and begun the process of treating the entirety of the house.
Just never go to the Lowe's in Corinth. Remember.
That's right.
Never go there.
Snake off the face.
Right.
So here's the deal. I, like any of these other kids, can tell everybody who would listen that I intend to do all of these things, but it requires actual work. I got to buy the stuff. I got to do the work. I got to do it. And until I do, she doesn't take me seriously. She's like, sure, I bet you will. Why don't you pick up the phone and call somebody who will do it because it's their job? Because you're not going to do it. She's right and I'm wrong. I'm not going to do it, but I keep saying I'm going to. Anyhow, you got to get off your ass if you're a kid and decide, do I really want to do this? Do I really think the grass is greener on the other side? Is there really more money for me out there? Or do I just want to tell people this is what I'm going to do so that maybe I can influence a decision by those behind the scenes that might feel threatened by my tweet and give me some? Well, we'll see. I'm not saying they're full of it. I'm saying I need more. So when I saw, for example, that Rodney Hill said that he intended to enter the transfer portal, I thought, where's Tom Lang? He needs a hug right now. He was of the mindset that one Walter Payton would be emerging from this storied career here at FSU, that he was going to be an elite back. And maybe he will be. But it may be somewhere else. But I guess as I understand it now, he only intends to.
Well, yes. It was a message on Twitter last night in which he said, I'm going to be entering. So it's on the Peyton side of the scale at last check.
Yeah.
Now, these things can update quickly. But I am frustrated by this situation. But I'm not frustrated at Florida State. Just considering some of the behind-the-scenes machinations in some of these circumstances, you catch wind of what's gone on in the past. We made Rodney a priority last year. Remember, we were on the air when the Battle's End announced that there was a partnership with Rodney Hill. He hadn't proven much on the field yet. He was in garbage time last year. But the Battle's End took the step to make sure he was a part of the collective and the family, which means they prioritized him. And I think they really prioritized him in a long-term projection.
Yeah, no, they had plenty there for him.
So if you're coming back the next year and saying it's not good enough, well, let's see if you actually enter your name in the portal. But if you do and you follow through and you leave, I'm off you. It's not a Florida State problem. It's not a Battle's End problem. That would be my take on the situation. I just hope it doesn't go there. We just lost Kirk, in the last few weeks. I'm like, damn it. I always enjoyed him. He's a good analyst. This is a bummer because he's a nice guy. Great interactions behind the scenes when we were doing interviews back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was disappointing. Let's not lose Rodney. Come on, Rodney. Come to your senses now. This is going to be a good offense next year.
Well, I'm told he's pretty much as good as gone. So I hate that. Now, I'll tell you.
I salute you on the way out.
I tell you this. The first time I ever saw Cam Davis as the recruit, the very first time I ever saw him, I went, oh, well, that is different. We got us one here. This guy was my worst nightmare. When I played the first year junior football, I learned a very valuable lesson, what they used to call junior midgets. You can't call it that now. That was the league.
No, well, in hockey, they still do. It's a classification.
Yeah. So we used to play junior midgets, and then you played midgets, and then from there you played, you went on to high school or whatever. So I remember the first lesson I ever had was in an Oklahoma drill. You do not want to tackle people who have a very low center of gravity.
Mm-hmm.
It is very difficult, especially if you have any reasonable height to you at all, to get lower than they can get. And the problem is when you marry somebody with a low center of gravity and giant thighs, you've got a very big problem on your hands because that is now a bowling ball that you are trying to tackle that doesn't want to be tackled. And they are coming at you violently around your damn kneecaps.
Without fear.
And you have to try in order to win the battle of leverage to get lower, which does not really allow for you to hit them very hard because you got to get lower and lower and lower. There's no leverage to that. You're just getting lower so you don't get trucked. And I remember thinking, well, I don't like that. So what I would do is I'd count in the line. Who's got Patrick? All right, not me. Why don't you? Oh, yeah, come, Keith, you got it. There you go. I'll go after you. Because the next guy's 5'9". I can handle that. This dude's 5'4", 200 pounds. Who's tackling this? And it reminds you of why Barry Sanders could never be brought onto the ground. Every time you saw Barry Sanders, there's a pinball. Just ping, ping. You're like, what are you going to do? He's preternaturally gifted. He has unreal balance. He's got thighs the size of Earl Campbell's. He can run away from you, and you cannot get lower than him. Half the time, you couldn't see him coming from the backfield because you're stuck behind the trees, and you're like, oh, there he is. And it's too late.
And as I understand it, I didn't play high school ball or any kind of organized ball, but a lot of times in those drills, the guy you least wanted to face was probably the team's fullback, in a setting like that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the featured player in the offense, but there are dudes who have special skill sets for the Oklahoma drill because they don't care about their own life. They don't care about their head, their shoulders, nothing. And they're 5'4", and this is their time.
Yeah, it's tough.
It ain't going to be, 3rd and 10 is their time. This is their time. The Oklahoma drill on a Tuesday.
Ooh. And it's just not a fun situation. It's tough. It's tough when that happens. So that kid, Cam Davis, reminds me of the worst of what you ever had to tackle. Gigantic. He's too thick for his age. He's got this very low center of gravity. He runs low and behind his pads. He's also explosive and athletic. It's a problem, man. And I mean, if you're Rodney Hill or anybody else in that backfield, you're like, well, yeah, that guy's going to start. That guy's going to play. Like, he's a real dude.
Those are the dudes that you are partial to. You know, I remember young Jaquez Patrick. You were in love.
Well, but he was taller. He was so much taller. But yes, I'm partial to people who run people over. I like people who run other people over. Listen, I was fortunate enough, and I bring it up a lot, and it's a smile on my face name drop, and not because he is an all-time great and all, but because he's a dear friend, and I watched it all play out. I played junior midgets, high school with William Floyd. I watched him go through all of it. He was my teammate, and there was nothing better than watching that man run angry with that body size, running over people over and over and over again, and I would listen to the sounds of the people trying to tackle him, and I would giggle. And then I would loathe the fact that I had to try to tackle him in practice and be like, damn it, but at least William was tall. You could get low. You had a shot at getting low if you caught the corner in time. This is going to be a problem for people. So I don't know if that factored into Rodney Hill's decision or not. I hate that he's leaving because he runs hard and angry, and he's a fun player to watch, and I think he had real potential. But, you know, what I'm not going to do is watch player after player, and it's going on all over the country. I don't know if you saw the percentages, the numbers of the people in college football that entered the portal on the very first day that you could. It's remarkable. I mean, what is it? 1 in 7? Was it that high, or 1 in 7? Maybe it was 1 in 10.
Wouldn't shock me.
I got to double check what that was, but the number surprised me. I can't remember if it was like 7% or 10%. But it was a high number of players that instantly went into the portal.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me though, because we operate right now from the top of the pyramid in the game, except we're a second-class citizen according to the playoff committee. But we're pretty much at the peak. But there are so many players in Group of 5, in Division 1. It could be FCS, whatever, that know that they're better than where they are. And so it could be FCS getting to a Group of 5. It could be Group of 5 getting to Power 5. It could be Power 5 getting to the SEC or the Big Ten. Like, I think that's where that number doesn't shock me, because there's opportunity for kids who were 2 stars or no stars that put film out there that can better their situation. Like we yesterday we were talking about one, and the kid went from, oh God, maybe you can help me with this, but he went from like UCLA to Michigan State, or it was something along those lines. It was just a lower level move. But for that kid, it's a greater opportunity.
Yeah,
that's a transfer portal thing that we never talk about because we're Florida State. But you could have a situation where a kid goes from, I know UTEP has a defensive end, UTSA has a defensive end that's looking at Alabama right now, but it doesn't even have to be that drastic. It could be you have somebody from Troy that now gets to go play at
Georgia Tech.
Wake Forest, Georgia Tech.
Right.
So 1 in 7 doesn't surprise me, because there are a lot of moves like that we don't ever cover.
Well, and also it is being utilized right now as a leverage piece, or it's perceived to be a leverage piece. Maybe to some degree with certain players it is, but not with others. With the vast majority that use it that way, they're not understanding how these collectives are working. They're not understanding that these collectives now are not rogue singular entities, but rather unified groups that, even though they're in competition with one another for players, know what the other is doing. It's a real business. It's a real group.
The other thing in terms of Rodney Hill specifically that stood out to me was it's like the coaching staff with Tate. Like, you can think of something about Tate. I certainly can think something about where Tate should be in the spring and competing. Maybe he should have the job and it's his to lose. But the coaching staff says, no, we're going to look at Cam Ward and DJ. So you can have that opinion. Yeah. That's wonderful, but we think we need to move on in this situation. Okay. Well, their vote's the one that counts. It's the only one that counts. That CJ Campbell was on the field for the first snap of the game against Louisville in the ACC championship. And it was CJ and Lawrence Toafili. Trey Benson wasn't available.
No, he was hurt.
He was hurt. Everybody was.
Yeah.
But that you have running back 2 in Lawrence Toafili and another running back on the field, and it's not Rodney. That's interesting to me. Rodney played in that game, but CJ played more.
Yeah, I just think, listen, these coaches have to be in contact with people making these decisions, and they can influence where dollars or opportunities are allocated. And it's not surprising if you quickly see a name that you didn't suspect would be in the portal. enter the portal and actually follow through and do the paperwork and enter the portal. If you see that happen and it's a name that you thought was an up-and-coming player within the program or somebody that was going to be needed for depth or whatever that might be, and you see how quickly it happens, you go, oh, okay, they either have somebody waiting in the wings that they like more or they were tired of his nonsense. There are a lot of different ways to look at it, and there's everything in between. All right, where are we at? Let's get the update here and get everybody rallied up and get excited, because I get excited every time I look at the number. This is all money that wouldn't have existed prior to the start of this show today, thanks to you guys, and thanks to our friends at the Guardian Ad Litem that it will be receiving this and getting the help to these kids that need it most. We have raised $2,395, 40 minutes into the program now. Awesome. Got about 20 more minutes to get that sucker over 3,000. Let's shoot for that. I always have very, very high goals, and my aspirations for stuff like this are to hope to get it somewhere at 6, 7, 8, 10,000, something crazy, right? Now, I'm also a realist. I understand that may not be possible, but who knows? And I certainly won't doubt you the way that Kirk Herbstreit doubted Florida State. I will look at you.
All right.
I will look at you,
He's
and I will,
board.
well, to an extent. Getting tired of it, but yeah, I will say that I think, guys, we can do it. We can do amazing things because you guys always have. That's the proof. They always have, over and over and over and over again.
I know you're tired of it, but how about that tweet yesterday?
Come
on, man, that confirms it.
He's having a nervous breakdown. It's incredible to watch. This is where if you're somebody's agent, you're like, man, get off the platform. Nothing good is going to come of this.
Go hop in your private jet and go golfing anywhere in the world.
Go to the Bahamas. Well, he's got a game tonight. He's going to be there covering this game that nobody cares about, but he's getting paid handsomely to do so, and it'll be a nice escape for
Al,
him.
good to see you. Glad to be here. I'm not. Give me the microphone.
Anyhow, whatever you guys can do, please help. We really appreciate it. I know the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem sincerely appreciate having an opportunity to have some form of Christmas thanks to your kind-hearted donations. You can do so on YouTube. 100%. As you watch this, click that donate button. 100% of what you give goes to the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem.
Our local news now.
A former Bainbridge public safety officer, Philip Tarnow, who was under investigation for allegations of sexually assaulting someone in custody, turned himself into authorities and was later released. He was released on a $6,000 bond. He is accused of sexual assault on an inmate during a transfer. In early September, investigators said Tarnow was supposed to take a female inmate to a treatment facility in Middle Georgia. During the transport, he stopped in Mitchell County, and investigators said he had sex with the female. Tarnow was only employed with Bainbridge Public Safety for 8 months before being terminated. This holiday season, shoppers are being warned to watch out for gift card scams. Police say thieves are draining the value of some cards. They access the cards at retailers nationwide, tamper with the barcode, and siphon the money to offshore accounts. Officials say some manage to do so without affecting the appearance of the cards, but others leave signs like scuff marks near the barcodes. Police suggest that consumers check gift cards thoroughly before buying them. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 64. Winds out of the northeast 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight, lows level off around 46. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow, highs level off around 65. Temps near average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the mid-60s. Showers possible both days. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 64.
Help Christmas Connection share the joy of Christmas with children and families in need. Give a gift, make a donation, volunteer your time, and find out more at helpchristmasconnection.com. Tallahassee Family Magazine and these fine businesses have joined together to bring you this reminder. Whitten Glass on South Monroe, Tony Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning, and Rapid Press Printing and Mailing Services. Help Christmas Connection share the joy of Christmas with children and families across our community. Learn how at helpchristmasconnection.com.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The pan con lechon, Jeff.
Okay, the pan con lechon. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
To kind of sit back and, all right, we got this guy, got this guy. We're going to be all right here. We can concentrate on this game. We can't really do that. Of the names that we have up to this point, Rodney Hill, DJ Lundy, Dylan Brown, Malcolm Ray, Thomas Schrader, Bless Harris, Patrick Payton announced and not in the portal. Portal? Hey, now. That's not even a bad word. It just sounds like one.
It sounds bad, yeah.
Tafasi, Kayshawn Sapp, Daughtry Richardson, somebody named Liam McCormick that nobody's ever heard of, Marquiston Douglas, Preston Daniel, thank goodness, CJ Campbell, and Dylan Brown Turner. There you go. What are you laughing about?
Giggling at your asides.
Yeah.
You want the world to know that you're happy that somebody.
There are a few of these guys. I'm like, thank goodness. We were trying to get ourselves to a certain level. I mean, my goodness gracious. We just have to weed some folks out. Now they are free to go elsewhere, and I wish them nothing but the best in the vast majority of those cases.
Yeah. Future endeavors, right?
Yeah. Don't let the door. One of those situations.
That's the thing is, for Rodney, it's not great news, but for me, it's
if he does it.
If he does it, but at some point you're a running back. That's where I get cold. At some point, you're a running back.
Yeah. Well, that's like the NFL's
you could be
position
Dalvin,
on running backs, by the way.
Yeah, and in college, you can be special because you have a short shelf life, and that's wonderful. You could be Dalvin, and I would weep internally, maybe externally.
Oh, if Dalvin Cook had a chance to transfer and did while we were here, no. That would have been, what are you people doing?
But
get it together over there.
There are shades of receivers and quarterbacks and linemen.
That's a good way of looking at it, yep.
For running back, it's binary. It's either you're Dalvin or okay, we'll find another guy. We've got a lot of dudes. Wasn't that long ago that we were pissed that LaDamian Webb entered the portal
I kind of liked LaDamian Webb.
I did too.
By the way.
He had a good career.
Anthony Grant went to Nebraska and actually was good, was very good.
Yep.
He was like one of their only good players.
Forgot about that.
I know for the year that I worked with the Nebraska side, I would watch. He'd kick ass every Saturday behind that god-awful offensive line. I'm like, dude, we could use some Anthony Grant. Damn it, man. That used to drive me nuts. It happened.
Trayshawn was important to lose last year too. In retrospect,
yeah, there were games he would have been very helpful.
Yeah, because he was more decisive. He had that timing, and we did not this year. It didn't click anywhere close to the way it did the year before.
I have a question. So I don't, I'm sure it's all on the up and up. But Washington State transfer quarterback Cam Ward. I'm reading from the On3 website. Will visit Florida State in the coming days for an official visit. On3's Pete Nakos has learned. From where? Curious. 2 days ago, this was mentioned on the Jeff Cameron Show. I just didn't know. Good for Pete. Tuned into the show. Just a question. Anyhow.
Next question.
Yeah. Cam will be here. And hopefully Cam will say, I like it here. I like it here a lot. Where do I sign? Yeah, that'd be a nice signing, actually. If that'd be a big one. I also think, honestly, some dominoes may fall if that happens, where all of a sudden, maybe here, maybe there. Oh,
Probably so. I hear that
if he were to sign,
this is an interesting one. It's not like there are certain dudes that have entered in the short existence of the portal. That
yes,
said,
very short.
All right, here's a number. If you match it, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm in. But then there are other dudes where it could be a little bit more complex, and it's as different and unique. These situations. I mean, look, we talk about and we have Ingram on from time to time. God bless him. I don't know that there's a number that you could pay me to handle all of the situations.
There is a number you could pay me.
I don't know.
But I would tell you that it's a lot of work.
It would be a number so large that I could retire after 2 years of doing this. That would be what it would take.
You got to look. I really honestly believe you got to look at it differently than that, too. I know what you're saying.
Oh my God.
I know what you're saying.
It just never ends.
Well, and this is the hard part. Like for years on this show, I talked about if I were a college coach, I would like a lot of the aspects of the job. There would be a lot that I like. I love watching kids get better at something, right? I did a little coaching, nothing near to college football. It was City League football here in Tallahassee, but the premise is the same. Watching a 12 or 13-year-old kid play a season of football, and from the first week we have practice to the end of the season, you see this huge exponential growth, right? And the work put in. It's the most rewarding thing, and you're helping in any way you can to make that happen, and you see it, and you're just so proud of them. It's emotional. It's very few jobs does that ever happen. Now, obviously, the stakes are raised as you move on up the ladder. You do it in high school, you can be fired. I mean, there are schools that expect to win in high school, and it's not about development. It's about winning and developing, but winning is the first part of that conversation starter. And then in college, obviously, you're paid so well and expected to work 20-hour days, and it's what you eat, sleep, and breathe. But the thing is the same. The watching kids get better and seeing all this play out. But I have said over the years that the one thing, it's not the time commitment, it's not the pressure, it's not all of those aspects of the job, it's recruiting that would kill me. Knowing that obviously I have to kowtow to a 16 or 17-year-old's whims and text at 9 o'clock at night before I go to bed 100 kids and be like, hey, just thinking about how you fit in the offense. Have a great one. Like nonsense. Just like, are you kidding me? The pretending to be very excited about a marginally decent prospect would really wear on me.
Well, yeah, and then you're celebrating a big win, but you can't celebrate for long because you got to fire off those texts.
Right. That would wear on me. That'd be hard. But the best recruiters do not view recruiting that way. They do not view it the way that I view it, as time-consuming, kowtowing to children. They don't look at it that way. They instead look at it as part of the competitive aspect of the sport. Like this, it's all encompassing. It's like, I coach, I'll beat you X's and O's, I'll out-recruit you, I'll do all of this, and it's all encompassing.
Yeah, it's an interesting mindset that you have to get into.
You'd have to convince yourself of it too. That's the thing. You lie to yourself.
Think about how ridiculous this sounds, but they would have to say to themselves, put me in a room with a 16-year-old and his mother and father, and I'm going to get a yes.
I'm going to get a yes.
That sounds really inappropriate.
Dubious.
That's
wrong. It does. But that's how you have to be. You have to love it. Like I've heard Kirby Smart talk about this. Jimbo told me this. There have been other coaches say, no, you don't look at it the way you're describing it, Jeff. The way you're describing it is the way a normal human being looks at these things. But one who's paid $8+ million a year to run a corporation into greatness knows this is an aspect of a job you are required to be great at. And you better find a way to get past whatever hangups you have with any aspect of this job, or that money goes away and all of the other things that you might happen to like about the job. That is the way you'd have to view it. And I think that's how you'd have to view Ingram's job or anybody else in that organization. If you're in the Battle's Inn, you understand that dealing with kids and the whims of emotion, of which I reference for the better part of 20 whatever years I've been doing this, is all part of it. And also the very ill-informed whims that we're speaking of. A kid thinking that this is like a movie. as opposed to a real structure and a real business. Like I kept thinking that I'm going to walk in and this is the way the scene plays out in my head. I think that they're going to offer me $50,000 because I'm a backup or a third string defensive tackle. But I got in every game last year. I got in every one of them. I really wasn't a game changer. I didn't significantly impact how the game played out, but I'm playing. I'm in the games. I'm not some guy that never plays. I'm not a walk-on. I'm here. I'm on scholarship. I'm contributing to the cause. And we just went 13-0. And you know what? I don't want $50,000. I want $5 million because I aspire to be rich. And this feels like a place where maybe I could get rich. I'll just say a crazy number. And even if they don't match that number, this random number that I was either told by somebody who is trying to leech off of me or somebody who's incredibly ill-informed is just a number. And I'll throw it out there and they're going to say no. And I know they're going to say no. And they're going to say, are you crazy? Nobody's getting $5 million in NIL. What is wrong with you? You're a third string defensive tackle. But then they're going to come back and tell me they'll give me $75,000, which is all I ever really wanted. That's not how it's going to work. And you are in La La Land.
You know what? I was wrong. Sign me up. I want this job.
But I'm saying it'd be kind of fun in that sense. You could look at a kid and test his intelligence. But, well, really, you'd like $75,000, would you? It'd be a fun game. Donate now, kids. Guardian ad litem. They need your help. We got another hour to do it. I'll touch up on the numbers and thank folks in a second. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
A cup of Joe, Java, brew, go-go beans, brain water, liquid lightning, wakey juice, whatever you call your cup of coffee, you're missing out if it's not Grassroots Coffee. At grassrootscoffee.com, you'll find an easy way to order the best roasted coffee beans available. It's very simple. Choose the blend you want and how you want it ground, and the bag you receive will have the date your beans were roasted and packaged on it, all written by hand and signed by the roast master himself. You'll know that's as fresh as it gets. You can get Grassroots outside of your house also at some of your favorite restaurants in town. Next time you're out to eat, try asking for Grassroots Coffee by name because there's a good chance they will have it for you. And if you own a business, Grassroots Coffee has options to stock your break rooms with all the productivity powder your team needs. Plus, like some other options that you'll find at work, Grassroots Coffee actually is a part of our community. Get to grassrootscoffee.com today and get yourself a treat. Some locally owned, locally roasted, and locally loved Grassroots Coffee. I'm Greg Tisch, and I want to share one of my favorite TCC alumni stories. It's been almost 30 years since Charlie Ward led the 1993 FSU football team to its first national championship, won the Heisman, and became the first Heisman winner to play in the NBA. But did you know, like thousands of students before and since, he started his college career at TCC? We are proud to call Charlie Ward one of our own. Today, he serves on the TCC District Board of Trustees, so you might even get to see him around campus.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
The perfect gift under the tree this year is a new spa or hot tub from Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas. There's nothing like resting your jolly old soul in the spa after a long, stressful day. And it's the gift that keeps on giving all year long. Heat up your holiday with the end-of-year sale going on now at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas. During the month of December, go to our new website, TallahasseeHotSpring.com, and fill out the contact form to receive an instant $1,000 off coupon towards the purchase of a Hot Springs hot tub. Get in touch now before this deal ends. Also, take advantage of up to $6,200 off select High Life models and get a free accessory with the purchase of your new Hot Spring Spa with affordable financing for qualified buyers. Come see Cameron. Visit TallahasseeHotSpring.com or check us out on Facebook or Instagram. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com. Coupon cannot be combined with any other offer. Come see us for the end of year sale. Happy holidays.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3 WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee. The
latest betting odds and line movements from Vegas. This is your Action Update. Now here are your latest lines from our guys in the desert.
Florida Gator basketball coming up tonight. The Gators taking on East Carolina, the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Gators bet up from a 15-point to a 15.5-point favorite. The total down from 155.5 to 153. Gators coming off a win over the Richmond Spiders. East Carolina coming off a home loss to South Carolina. In the NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning on the road at Edmonton. The Oilers have won 8 consecutive games. They're the $1.62 home ice favorite. Tampa Bay plus 136. NFL tonight, it's the Raiders laying 3 at home against the Chargers. Get your free VSiN subscription right now at VSIN.com. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
This year, Staples will not be celebrating the holidays. Instead, we're celebrating the holiday deals with amazing savings for the holiday season. Save 50% on custom holiday cards, save 50% on custom invitations, and save 50% on custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. During Staples holiday deals, it's not about the ho, ho, ho. It's about saving dough, dough, dough. Save 50% on custom cards, invitations, and photo gifts today at Staples. Ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details.
The holiday countdown is on. Don't miss 50% off everything at your nearest Banana Republic factory store. Hurry to save on must-have gifts, winter essentials, and more. Now through December 19th.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? And if you drive while you're high, law enforcement can definitely tell. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you're back to living normal life again. Hey, everybody, it's Greg Tish. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, and shoulder pain who were able to get long-lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. If you have pain from that old injury or pain associated with arthritis, you need to check this out. The future of medicine is here. Regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. Make the call now so you can get the most out of 2024. Get back to doing what you love. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Their number, 850-391-4280. That's 850-391-4280. 850-391-4280.
Now go call Seminole Glass. They'll get on the road and get it done fast.
Hey Tallahassee, Sarah here. This El Nino heat is brutal. When it's hot, glass is soft and more prone to cracks. No need to call your insurance. Go to SeminoleAutoGlass.com. Upload your policy card and request an appointment.
Hey Sarah, what note does a B make when it hits your windshield? A B flat.
Jimmy, better call Seminole.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3,
donate goes directly to them. That's right. No willy-nilly nonsense here. It's all in. Here we go. I believe we start the hour pretty close to where we wanted to be. Not quite there, but pretty close. And you guys are kicking ass, as always, doing the right thing this holiday season, trying to help kids who desperately need your help. And you do so understanding, and I'll reiterate, and for those that have been on the entire time, you understand that I need to do this. You've heard it a lot, but I'll keep doing it because we have, in theory, this is old radio, a new audience every 15 minutes. Now, it changes a little bit now that we're multimedia, worldwide, but what you get is a lot of people coming in and out. Maybe they don't hear it, so we wanted to be sure that we did this and made sure that you know there's no money that you give, no part of that money that you give that goes anywhere other than to the Guardian Ad Litem, 2nd District, so that they can help kids who need their help, desperately need their help, and wouldn't otherwise have much of a Christmas. And certainly their work goes much beyond what happens at Christmas. They are child advocates year-round, and things are ugly for kids in foster care and tough situations year-round, not just Christmas. But we do what we can when we can, and the bowling tournament was on Monday. We had a good time, and then today we're adding to the pot, and you guys are helping us do that. I say it often. I mean it each and every time. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're doing a lot of good, more than you probably realize, and it is greatly appreciated by the people at the Guardian Ad Litem. I hear from Deborah Moore and the people she works with all the time, and I hear from her year-round, and she thanks us, and I say, no, thank you, but we'll do whatever we can. I got a microphone. We got a lot of listeners. We got a lot of subscribers, a lot of listeners, a lot of followers, and people that will take heed and say, you know what, let's try to help out in any way we can. So I don't care if it's $1 or if it's $10,000, whatever you can do, please know that all of it is going to the Guardian Ad Litem, which then in turn helps out those kids that they advocate for that would not have a Christmas. And I will, at some point, it doesn't make for great radio, meaning this. I have a list of names before me, a lot of names. This is a list of names, just so you know I'm not lying. There you go. Look at that list. Maybe you see your name on there. Look at that. Look at that list. Anyhow, so it's a list of names. I could read them all. I'm not going to, because that's not good for those of you driving around. I don't know that it's entertaining, but it is appreciated. I see these names, and many of you are folks that listen all the time. Some of you are new, but all of you are greatly appreciated. That's all I'll say. You know if you gave. And if I don't mention you, I'm sorry. Just doesn't make for great radio to sit here and rattle off names. But what I will say is, again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is a list of everybody who's given so far. I will know all of these names. Maybe we'll flash them on the screen at some point. I don't know. That's a lot to do. You can take a picture, I suppose. But anyhow, thank you. Now, we're at 3,000. Let's see if in the next 50 minutes we can get to 6,000. Let's just double up what we have and get to $6,000. Maybe better. Hey, I'm not going to cap this sucker. We could go crazy. But let's just modest goal. Let's see if we can double up what we did in hour number 1. A lot of people just now hearing about it.
3,000 is tremendous.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. Do you make anything of the fact that Marvin Jones Jr. didn't make a splash in any way, shape, or form at Georgia in year 1 and now is in the transfer portal? And, of course, Florida State fans recognizing who Marvin Jones was to this program want him, and they know he's visiting, and they've got the connection to Patrick Surtain and all of that, right? Oh, believe me, I know. I know. I the second I saw that, when I woke up 2 days ago and saw that news that his name was in the portal, I was like, well, what are we doing here? Let's go. A man's waking up, realizing he made a terrible mistake going to Georgia. Time to come on home, baby. Father is a living legend. Marvin Jones is. Shade Tree, my favorite player in Florida State football history. It'd be awesome to see his son playing football here. We were distraught when he didn't. We were like, oh, man. But our program, as I pointed out, was in a little bit of disarray still. We were just on the come up, hadn't really solidified any success stories yet. And then since that time, since he was originally recruited, there's been a lot of success. 19 straight wins for one, but even just back-to-back seasons, 10-3, 13-0, you now know this is sustained success. Mike Norvell, in the time that he started getting recruited, meaning Marvin Jones Jr., received a significant raise. His defensive coordinator got an extension and a raise. There is, a really solid basis, foundation for Florida State to build on. Success on the field, success off the field. There is continuity within the coaching staff. There is, from the top down, synchronicity. They are in the right way. And so now lots of people want to come to Florida State, and maybe Marvin Jones Jr. is just one of them. But I did take a step back. I did think, he was a huge recruit. He has those genes, that DNA, right? Marvin Jones. I mean, if you've ever shaken Marvin Jones's hand, you know of which I speak. This is a monster. This is a man who's built different, as the kids say, right? This is a different human being. He looks like, and seems to me, could, at least for a series, go play right now. I'm not even kidding. Marvin could. He's still a badass. So why do I say all that other than to praise my favorite football player in Florida State history? Well, I mean, you think his son can't be too much different, right? We see this all the time, father-son combos that go on to play in Major League Baseball and the NFL. They don't all live up to the father. It's hard to do, especially if your father is an All-American who was in the top 4 in the Heisman voting as a linebacker. I mean, that's tough to do. Retired number, Hall of Fame, whole deal. Very difficult to do. And an underrated NFL career, by the way. Well, yeah, he wasn't in the college career was much better than the pro career. He had the bad hip injury, but he still played like 9 years and made the Pro Bowl. Had a good career. Just on the Jets. Nobody noticed. Now, here's the thing. You would think, well, Marvin Jones Jr. can't be that much different, right? He's a big, strong kid, dominated in high school, 5-star recruit. Did it strike you as odd that he never really made any waves at Georgia in year one? I'm just curious.
I would say the retort to that question would be they have the top-end talent and the depth that you're always yearning for.
Yeah,
when
that's
you're,
right.
listing.
And if you're a true freshman, you probably shouldn't impact that lineup at Georgia.
Yeah, like, you often say this is when you define what we're not at Florida State, you point to Georgia, you point to Alabama, and the barriers for a badass 5-star at a Georgia or an Alabama to get on the field are sturdy and they're high. If you are a true freshman playing, or even a redshirt freshman, playing for a program,
well, that's my answer. That's right. I wanted to see if you had a different perspective. It's the same as I had. I agree. He also got dinged up a little bit.
The other thing I'd say, though, is while that's true, and it would be hard for any 4 or 5-star to crack the lineup at Georgia if you're 18 or 19 years old, I will be fascinated to see how much of a priority this staff makes Marvin Jones Jr. Insofar as if you only have a certain amount of resources, are you going for broke to bring this guy in? Or does the film suggest that, if he wants to fit at a reasonable, NIL package, then there is a home for him. There's 2 different ways to look at it. Like, I would think, for example, Cam Ward is a very high priority.
2 years he's been there. I'm sorry, 2 years.
2 years. Again, that's why I said redshirt freshman.
Yeah,
that's why
you're right.
You're
right. Yeah. Somebody correct. AK, good job. You did the right thing. I was wrong about that. God, time flies. My apologies. 2 years.
I did a little skirty dance there.
No, you did the right thing.
The point
helping your partner out.
Cam is going to be a tremendous priority. Keon Coleman was a tremendous priority, as we learned in the weeks and months after that decision was made. He came to Florida State. It was known. Oh, we're going for that kid. Is he that type of want or need, I should say? Is he that type of need for the staff, or would they rather look at the kid from Georgia Tech, the kid from Pitt and Duke, and maybe another 1 or 2 that enter the portal and say, I could get 2 or 3 at a pretty decent rate right now, and that would do us more good than going for broke and trying to bring in the legacy who has high demands. Now, I don't know what his demands are, though. That's the other part. It's so hard. In pro sports, you get to know what the numbers are.
Yeah.
In college, you don't. And that's what makes it very difficult. But you learn after a transaction is made, after a decision is made to transfer, it's the cleaner way of saying it, what those kind of numbers and figures were. Is he going for something astronomical or something reasonable to come here?
Yeah, that's correct. You do need to know what he's asking for, and then you have to juxtapose that ask with the production, lack thereof, and why. Is it
production and projection?
Right.
Yeah.
Were you buried on an elite depth chart of 5-star kids that you couldn't break through? Was it partly due to the fact that he has had injuries? Could just go with injures.
We had a lot of those. We had a lot of those this season.
Yeah, you're constantly balancing. Right now, there's a lot of that going on. Florida State head football coach Mike Norvell named a finalist for the Paul Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award and the organization's ACC Coach of the Year. It was announced today after leading Knowles to a 13-0 record and an appearance in the Orange Bowl that nobody's going to. Norvell has also been voted this year's ACC Coach of the Year, the AFCA Region 1 Coach of the Year, one of 12 finalists for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year, and one of 14 semifinalists for the George Munger Coach of the Year award by the Maxwell Football Club.
Yeah, he should win it. He should be a shoo-in because we're garbage, at 13-0. It's amazing that we got to 13-0. In fact, the face of the sport in terms of media says that for a fact, Washington's better, Michigan's better, Oregon's better, Georgia's better. I don't know how the hell we won 13 games. So this should be an easy choice here, that Mike Norvell is the absolute one-of-one candidate.
That's why I was surprised that Jordan Travis finished 5th in the Heisman voting. How could the most important quarterback in the history of college football finish 5th?
So valuable that for the first time a Power 5 undefeated conference champion gets left out. That's how valuable Jordan was.
I had to admit that last night it was on the screen during our office Christmas party. Our thanks to Gene Williams. What a good night. His wife, Stacy, they did a great job as always. In the background, they're on several TVs at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill for housing us. Thank you as well. We had 2 different things on. There was a basketball game on, and then there was the SEC schedule release that ESPN was celebrating. You get used to that, everybody. Now, whatever, right? I mean, I still care about good football games, and I wanted to see who's playing what, and I am curious to see, as you incorporate Texas and Oklahoma. But what I really cared about more than anything else was that Florida team who lost their last 5 games of the season this year. They lost all 5 of their last 5, Tom. They didn't win any of them. I don't know if you're aware of that. They didn't win a single one of their last 5 games, not one. And what that did for them and Sunbelt Billy was cause them to go 5-7 and miss a bowl. They didn't go to a bowl. I don't know if you're aware of that either. They did not make a bowl. There will be no bowl. I was looking for them for next week. Those first games that start on December the 15th. You're in that bowl. That's a toughie. They didn't make that one this year, so they don't get to kick a field goal when they're on the wrong end of a 80-point ass kicking. But the point would be, so that didn't happen, and I thought, oh, well, that's tough. Surely they'll take a step forward this next year, and maybe they'll surge over their final 5 games when it's all on the line next year. Did you see their final 5 games?
Oh, man.
This schedule. Dude, Billy Napier should walk into the athletic director's office and say, why do you hate me? Why did you hire me to fire me? What is the point? What are you trying to do to me? This is insane. So they open with Miami, which, whatever, these 2 teams, both not good, but could be.
Better win that game.
Yeah, you better. Grand opening, grand closing. If you lose that game, baby, we're done talking here. No bowl for Billy after that one. You go 0-1, you're not going to a bowl.
It's the Keister Sizzling Invitational that first week, because whoever loses is, oh boy,
people are a little frustrated. Yes. So over last season, the games that I just documented that they lost, did not winning any of them, in no particular order. Obviously, one of them was to us, but the others were to Georgia and Arkansas, who's awful, Mizzou and LSU. So those were the 5: Georgia, Mizzou, LSU, Arkansas, and us.
Mizzou included a 4th and 17.
That's a tough one to lose. That's tough. Yeah. You were in it there, Florida. You were in it.
Had a chance.
So this is the 5 that they have next year to close this Florida. This is the Schadenfreude segment. They have Georgia at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and at FSU. Jeez, man, that is a toughie.
That's why you don't fire him this year. You let him.
You let him wear that ass beating next year,
Absolutely.
man. Holy moly! They open with Miami. They have an early season tilt with Texas A&M, who will now be well coached by Elko, and they've got players.
Yeah.
They have a middle game against UCF, which there's no guarantee if you don't play well. They have a roadie before that stretch against Mississippi State with the Cowbells. I don't know. They could lose that game.
UCF could rise up, man. They smoked both Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Same Oklahoma team that beat Texas.
Yes.
But Texas is plenty good to get in that playoff.
I'm just saying that is unreal. That is funny. I would just be in a perpetual state of depression.
We knew that the list of teams was going to be
right, but the order of things, they when they sent the missive, when they sent the email to Florida, here's what you got. Was there a picture of I can't say, but I mean, what are we doing?
I think there was an Urban Meyer pizza moment. I'm getting fired.
By the way, guys, make sure you sell those season tickets. You've got some doozies.
They're going to need to pipe in a little bit more crowd noise this year.
Got a little Georgia at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss at FSU to finish out the day.
Riley says, looking at Texas' schedule, they get a bye before UF rolls out to Austin.
Oh,
I'm sure we do too. We've scheduled it properly the last couple of years, the lead up to the game against Florida.
I mean, damn, that is hilarious. Yeah, I'm just picturing the moment that comes across the desk. All right, guys, listen up. Everybody gather around. This is what we got.
We have Charleston Southern before we play Florida. Well done, Florida State.
Good job. All right, let's get caught up here before we break, and we do need to calling for the influx. Let's go. If you pull over, let's make that happen. It's easy. It's on YouTube. We're at 3,220. We're well behind right now. Let's see what we can do in the next 18 minutes to get this thing up. That'll get us close to the end. I know we are easily going to surpass 4,000. I am very excited, but what we've already done is amazing. It is. But we can do more. And by we, I mean you. No, I kid, but I listen, we are appreciative. It strikes a balance. Look, I'm happy. I'm excited. We're doing awesome work. Thanks to everybody who's helped out, but I think we can do more. So I want that to happen. I'm going to push the envelope a little bit there. See if we can. So if you didn't know and you just tuned in, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Raising money for the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem. 100% of your donations go to help those kids in foster care, those kids that don't have advocates, who wouldn't have much of a Christmas. And now maybe thanks to your generosity and kindness, they will. You donate, you'll see the little, put up the thingy. Put up the thingy so I can describe it other than it's a button you push. And then there you go. That's how you donate. It goes right into their account. That's how this works. Nothing comes to us.
We'll put that up very soon.
The thingy?
Yeah, we've got it. We've got the camera shot isolated. It's almost like when you see the clock in a graphic for the NFL games.
All right. Well, please help if you can. All jokes aside, whatever you
blue donate button.
Whatever you can do to help is greatly appreciated. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Warning, the following Zaxby's ad may contain messaging upsetting to Philadelphians. Zaxby's took the iconic Philly sandwich, the quote-unquote perfect Philly sandwich, and made it perfecter by putting fried chicken on it. That's right, fried chicken on a Philly. And while Philadelphia might find it offensive, you can find it at your local Zaxby's. Finally, the Philly done right. Woo,
Sauce it. Zaxby's.
I'm Franklin, and I've been a Paul's Termite technician for well over 10 years. Working for a great company like Paul's Termite and Pest Control is a blessing for my family and myself. I get tremendous satisfaction knowing that the work I do helps protect most people's biggest investment, their homes, the place where they raise their families and build lifelong relationships. Paul's is a company that stands behind their commitments to customers and employees, and that makes me proud to represent them.
I'm Jay. Having the privilege to work with people like Franklin and all of our employees is truly an honor. There is no doubt that the staff of Paul's Termite and Pest Control is the best in our industry. All of our people are local, and local really does mean something. We're North Floridians. Our kids go to school here. We shop here. We build relationships here, and we honor our commitments. To all of our customers, thanks for trusting us to protect your family, pets, and home.
For the elimination of termites, any other pests, and a greener lawn too, call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Thank you for calling the Medicare Help Desk. How can we help you?
Can you help me choose the right coverage for myself and my wife?
We sure can. We can help you choose from Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, or standalone prescription drug plans from over 30 different insurance carriers.
How much does it cost? We have a fixed income and can't afford extra expenses.
At the Medicare Help Desk, the consultation is completely free. We are here to help.
Thank you, Medicare Help Desk.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. In my 17 years of experience, I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk, a place for you to get clear answers to all your questions and make sense of all the confusion. I've helped thousands of clients, and I live right here in Tallahassee with my family. I am active in my church and wish to help and serve my community. If you need help navigating the Medicare landscape, I'm easy to find. Just visit the MedicareHelpDesk.com. That's the MedicareHelpDesk.com.
Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu. Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The panko lechong, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The panko lechong, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
By the way, the names, they're down at the bottom. Good job, boys. Good job on the other side of the glass. We thank everybody whose name is there and also all the anonymous donors and the future donors, which begin right now, this very second, with you. Click that donate button. Let's get this up over 4,000 for sure, possibly 5,000. We're running out of time, about 30 minutes to go in the program. Hang in there, but we do greatly appreciate each and every one of you.
There is a music show overseas next year, a series of 3 or 4 that's near to your heart. St. Paul is the headliner. Hansard is opening.
Good old
St.
Glenn.
Paul and the Broken Bones.
Yeah, that's as good a show as you're going to get.
Man.
Yeah. Glenn just recently bringing the house down during Shane McGowan's funeral. And
I'm sure he did.
He's the one who sang Fairy Tale New York. And then it was a church erupting in dance. It was incredible.
It was Glenn who recorded Ashes to Ashes
Yes, right
in his
after
hotel
David
room
Bowie.
after.
Well, that's
oh,
as good
man.
a performance as you'll ever get. That's insane. Yeah. Every now and then I go back and watch that. You can still find that on Instagram. It's really cool. I was just laughing. This has nothing to do with anything that we were talking about, but it does make me laugh. The Detroit Pistons have lost 21 games in a row. I mean, God dog, folks, we're out here as a professional organization losing 21 games in a row in the NBA where teams have like back-to-back night roadies where they're exhausted. You can't beat somebody 21 in a row.
So good old director over here last night was at the holiday party, living it up, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Sixers minus 10.5 against those Pistons.
All you needed to know was Embiid going to play? If the answer is yes, this game is over. What was the final? I didn't see.
120 some odd to 108, something like that. Yeah, I'd given him false information because the score was already 100 to 89, 105 to 89 at the end of the third quarter. I thought the game was over. I was like, oh, you won, you covered.
And then it got kind of
there was
squirrely.
a whole nother. It was okay.
You know how it goes,
I didn't
man.
fail him. Yeah, it didn't get too spicy.
Jonathan writes, "What's the goal for the day? 5,000. It's whatever we can get to, man. I honestly." Look, man, if we could get to 30,000, it'd be awesome. But obviously, a realistic goal is whatever anybody can do in the community. So we've already had $3,440 raised.
Oh, wow. That just changed.
It's awesome. Blows me away. I'm always in awe. And whatever you guys can do is greatly appreciated. I don't want to seem unappreciative. Yes, I'd love to, Jonathan, if I'm being honest, I'd love to get to 5,000 or more. Sure, that'd be awesome. And we still have time. And I suspect that folks will make it happen. And thank you if they do, and thank you if they don't. We're doing really well here. 20. You're a professional sports franchise. 21 games in a row. I mean, you can back into wins all the. There are exhausted teams who are missing their starting five in games this year.
Load management.
I mean, that doesn't happen as much this year. The rules have changed, which is nice. Paul George has played in every game. So has Kawhi Leonard.
What?
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard's played in every game?
Yeah.
Does he play 3 minutes some nights?
No, he's played. I mean, look, they figured it out. They just stopped. They told guys, you got to stop doing that. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. You got to play. Bitch asses. You got to go out here and play. But that is unbelievable.
Commissioner Cameron.
Oh, yeah, that would be my memo. What are we doing around here? 21 in a row. Hey.
Oh.
What just happened? Oh, bam. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We are at 5,000. That blows me away.
It was Jonathan who helped make that.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Everybody made it happen, but Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Thank you again, everybody. Man alive. Let's keep it rolling. We're kicking ass. This is awesome. It's awesome. Whew. That'll blow you away. Also, I know I don't talk a lot of NBA, but while on the subject, they've lost 21 in a row. The Spurs have lost 18 in a row, and Giannis had 64 points last night.
Oh, really?
Giannis had 64 points, and he became the first player to hit 20 free throws and 20 field goals while shooting over 70% in both categories for the game. It's a whole lot of not missing, Tom. That's a whole lot of not missing. That's how you get to 64.
64.
Yeah. Also, because we love to gamble, and this is getting to the point, the highest over-under ever in the NBA was that game that Giannis scored 64 in. It was 258 total, and they went over.
Wow.
And the total was 258. So you see 258 to start the day. You're like, okay, I'm taking the under. Jesus, man. How many points did they score? 300?
So that outpaces your era. Because the 80s had a lot of high-scoring
games. There were games. I used to watch 124, 118, 131, 120, those kinds of games. Loved it. It was understood. Nobody played defense to the fourth quarter or the playoffs. That's kind of how that went. If it was a big game in the regular season, like Celtics-Lakers or Celtics, whatever, like Pistons, you knew, okay, well, you might get some defense in this game. We may see some guys actually move their feet, But then otherwise, it was a very different game because you shrink the bench in the postseason, and you got 7 guys you're counting on, not 10, not 11, 7. So you really begin to analyze teams in those days, similarly to the way you analyze them now. It's like, okay, well, that's great that they've got an 8th and 9th man that are really contributing on a Tuesday night, in the middle of the year. But that dude ain't going to see the floor when this is a series and we're guarding each other for real and it's 4 out of 7 and I've got tape and I know how to take away your best option. And so then those scores would come down and you'd see, 105, 101, still great games, still entertaining games. They're still the best in the world. But anyhow, it's, Giannis is a tough ask if you're asked to defend.
How's Dame doing?
He lit it up the other night. He did. He just passed Kyle Korver for 5th on the all-time 3-point list.
It's like pure information you're giving me on the NBA. There's no chance at this point.
I watch every night. It's because of Bryce. But I do, and I'm falling back in love with it, and it's great. It's a high level of basketball. It is.
Is it still king to him in terms of professional sports, the NBA over the NFL? I just wonder because he's playing football now. I know his basketball season, he's playing that too.
He's playing basketball right now, yeah.
But I wondered if maybe playing the game in high school has turned him towards football in terms of watching it.
Bryce is an interesting soul. He plays everything. He is currently playing high school basketball. He played high school football this year. He likes to watch. If I'm watching, he'll sit with me and he'll say, what are you watching? Or if it's a college game, he likes college more than pro. He goes to every FSU game, doesn't miss, sits with my father. And he will ask me about certain teams and matchups and what I think. But he's really kind of an independent soul. He'll go outside and play sports with his friends during the games. He doesn't sit around watching a lot of them. He'll come back in, on a Monday night football game, for example, Thursday night, like tonight. If I'm watching this godforsaken football game tonight that we have on Amazon, he'll walk in and be like, well, what's at stake? What's the deal? Tonight, I'm going to say nothing. Nothing's at stake at all but a draft pick. These two guys are basically these two teams are playing to see who has the worst record. This is not. You may see two teams going out of their way to lose a football game tonight.
That's not nothing.
I guess you're going to sell that one.
That's the graphic. It's not nothing.
Again, this is what I'm laughing at. Are you going to sell Aiden O'Connell and Easton Stick? That's tonight's quarterback matchup. That would be tough. This is a year, though, where a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL are either solidifying what you thought of them or they're coming out of nowhere to be interesting stories, and you can't tell, are they fly-by-night? Nobody's got a book on them. Josh Dobbs was that story to start the year. Josh Dobbs has a couple good games. Next thing you know, he gets traded to Minnesota. He doesn't even know the playbook. He wins a game in prime time. Everybody's watching the Josh Dobbs story unfold, and we're going, holy hell, Josh Dobbs kind of okay. He's doing okay.
Supremely entertaining. Like, really, it was almost I'm sure it was what other people and other fan bases thought of when they watched Jameis. Like, you're just, man, this is Jameis was doing more both ways, good and bad, that particular season. But I was like, this is just high-level entertainment.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch Josh Dobbs play.
And now he's terrible and on the bench.
It was a good 3-week run.
Hey, I always like to see this. And Jonathan, thank you so much. And I will read what you wrote here because I agree with you. Shameless plug, Jonathan writes for Adam Tolliver, in Artisan Financial Planning. I'm one of his clients, and his guidance has been amazing for my business and personal goal setting. He is amazing. They are amazing. And I'm happy to partner with them. We are so happy they advertise with us and that we work with them. Just intelligent, hardworking, and caring people who have an expertise that is something I'm proud to be associated with. And Jonathan brought the funk. Big time. Appreciate it. What are we at? 5,000? A little over 5,000?
$5. It's beautiful.
Okay. We're in the home stretch. The wish list for Florida State is a grand total of what at linebacker / defensive line, knowing what we now know about those that are in the portal or intend to be in the portal. It's a big number, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are really moving to a big number here. And I've got to believe that is very stressful for the Battle's End. And Mike Norvell and staff. Now, they got a great class coming in, but we're going to have to, again, marry all this. And I was thinking about it during the break. It's unsettled. So it makes it very difficult. I hate being in limbo. It's a bad feeling. You can feel the weight of it in all things. When you're in limbo, there's a weight to it. But you don't know your situation at defensive tackle. Is Darrell Jackson coming back? Is he going to play a season for you? Or is he going to try to go to the NFL, get drafted in the 5th round based on physical tools, and we don't have his services? Patrick Payton, I intend to enter the portal, didn't enter the portal, erase the tweet. Who knows? Do you have him? Is he right or is he not right? What's he going to be? Jared Verse, we know, is gone.
Josh Farmer ditto on the Darrell Jackson thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to guess that Josh is coming back, but we'll see. Don't know.
You think they would do different things?
I think they might actually do different things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll see now. We'll see what happens there. But again, you're right to point it out. We know Malcolm Ray entered the portal. We know that happened. We just talked about it last hour. So that's another defensive lineman who may not be a stud, but he played valuable snaps for you this year.
Io Tafasi processed that. Well, that's the wrong word because I don't know that that's the way it went down. But
he had to go. So anyhow, he's gone. Now, so you're talking about
you've got Lions, who would need to be a rotational piece next year as he continues to.
That's correct.
Hey, they put him in early in games this year.
Yeah, he's a rotational piece. You said it right. Just keep going.
KJ Sampson is going to be a nice player, but again, you don't want to lean on that.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, you got a lot to fill.
If you don't have Peyton back, it's a massive number.
So you're talking probably about a bare minimum of 4.
Oh yeah, in my head I was thinking 6.
Okay, so bare minimum 4.
Yeah.
And then I think you obviously have to get bare minimum 2 linebackers.
Right.
So now we're up to 6.
Well, I'm thinking between the 2. So I was.
Oh, yeah. I'm not.
I'm from D-line and linebacker combined. I was thinking 6.
Oh, I go okay. Oh, now, so we're at the same place.
We're at the same place.
Pretty close.
My thing
in the
is
sense that
I would count Darrell Jackson as one of the 6, as Patrick Payton is one of the 6.
Yeah.
You know, because they're in flux in the moment.
So let's just say 6. Some can argue 7 with that grouping. All right. I like what you are in the secondary. Zaire Thomas is a star in the making. He's going to start for you next year. You're going to be good there. And there are a lot of options all over that secondary. Plus, you've got some talent coming in, and you got kids that played some this year that are going to take another big step forward. I'm fine in the secondary. All right. Don't need to bring anybody in there. Offensive line.
Yeah, big need.
3 or 4?
I think 2 or 3, depending upon how many more exits there are.
Okay, so let's say 3. Let's say 3,
Sounds
right?
good.
So we're now at 9 to 10 players, okay?
Yep.
I don't think you have to do anything at running back. I understand what's happened. I don't think I would do anything at running back. The only thing I would think about at receiver is if there's a freak that wants to come and you'd have to take a good long look like you did with Keon Coleman when it comes out of the blue, something like that, maybe. Otherwise, I like my receiving core. I really do.
Especially if you get Jeremiah.
Well, if you get Jeremiah, forget about it. Don't touch it. You're good to go. So we're at 9 still.
Sounds like we're solving for the future here. That sounds good. I like this.
You want to solve for the future, right?
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we are. And by the way, our friends at ISF said do exactly that. Let's solve for the future with the transfer portal and the recruiting class and do it. ISF.com. But I'm telling you, so that's 10, basically 10. A quarterback seems likely. At this point, if you were a betting man, would you bet on Ward or DJ? I think right now I'd probably bet on DJ.
Well, how about a simple prop? Yes or no? Quarterback in the portal.
Yes.
Yes would be minus 500.
Yeah. Well, I think the answer is yes. Obviously, they've brought some folks in already, so that's going to be a yes. That we're at 11 to 12, man.
Yeah, and that number, it fluctuates. It could go higher if you have another departure or 2 that you didn't foresee on December the 14th. It could happen. I mean, the springtime is going to run some people off too and bring some people in. It's not just one wave. Post-spring camp, somebody's going to be pissed that they didn't win a job. And so they're going to be gone. So, this thing could be about 15 by the time it's all done in the summer.
Yeah, Ian, yes, by default, but not for the reason that he gave. And what I mean by that is, look, you have to wait to see which kids put their name in before you start looking at numbers. You have to figure out which positions you're prioritizing. And you have to also figure out which of the kids, by the way, coming in are plug and play. You have some elite talent coming in. Unlike in past years in the recruiting class, the high school recruiting class, you actually have some kids that can play now. Like, walk in, that's a grown-ass man. Can you believe he looks like that? Jalen Ramsey, play now, freshman year kind of talent coming in. If you bring KJ Bolden in, I mean, you've got dudes that are going to play.
Right. And that number could be as small as, say, 11 or 12 if you have retention. That's the thing, is I'm putting Patrick Payton, personally, the way I'm counting it, Peyton Farmer Jackson are all not a part of this equation yet because I believe them to be in flux. So if they all returned, let's just say that somehow, some way they all did. I think that's probably aspirational. But if they did, then the number's actually 12.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, quick update. We go to break here. We're sorely desperate to get to this break. I just kept prattling on, but we have raised $5,005. Let's see if we can get this thing a little north of that. If you haven't donated yet, a reminder, 100% of what you give today goes to the folks at the Guardian Ad Litem 2nd District to help the kids who need this help desperately. They advocate for those kids. If you can do more, if you can help, please do. We greatly appreciate it. We're at over $5,000. It is unreal. A little bit of time left. See what we can do. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3. Daniel. Oh, you made me laugh in the middle of telling everybody about Real Talk.
Your local news now.
The Clinch County Sheriff's Office is investigating a string of home invasions and burglaries throughout the county. In a Facebook post, the Sheriff's Office said that the suspects are targeting churches and people of color who may not speak English as their first language. Anyone with neighbors who may not speak English is asked to notify the Sheriff's Office so that they can provide extra patrols in the area. People are also asked to call 911 if they notice suspicious activity or have any concerns. It is recommended to lock your doors and windows, install security systems, and be vigilant of any suspicious activities. Charlie Adelson was sentenced to life in prison Tuesday morning for the 2014 murder of his former brother-in-law, FSU law professor Dan Markle. Adelson stood in court in front of the same judge who announced a trio of guilty verdicts at his trial last month. The first-degree murder conviction carries with it an automatic life sentence, and Circuit Judge Stephen Everett sentenced Adelson to another 30 years each for the conspiracy and solicitation convictions. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A blend of clouds and sun this afternoon with highs around 64. Winds out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows around 46. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies again tomorrow. Highs around 65. Temps near average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the mid-60s. Showers both days. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 66.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Fasig. And I'm Dana Brooks of Fasig Brooks Law Offices. When you're in an accident, traffic cameras can be the best source of evidence to prove who's at fault. That's why Fasig Brooks has partnered with RoadProof to have access to all their traffic camera footage. With RoadProof, we can search our network of traffic cameras to find the evidence that could help you win your case. Call us today to see if we can help find the proof to help you come back stronger. Call us now at 850-777-7777.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The panko lechon, Jeff.
Is that what is the pork?
The panko lechon, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
obviously. The donations we're able to raise to help the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem, and you guys have come up massive today. Oh, my God. That is unreal. So that just happened? See, I'm not on the YouTube feed. I'm on the StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard doesn't populate the same way for the giving shows. So we rely on Director Matthew, but Z-Chan came in with a large contribution, in addition to many others who helped climb this thing over $1,300 in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's leaves me speechless, which rarely happens. We are at oh my God. We're at $6,575.
200 just came in.
That is really, really awesome. Golly, I think we've set records here. This is
the best is what it is.
Well, it is awesome. And every year we get excited about the giving season. Like December comes around, everybody gets excited for the most part for Christmas. And part of that is sort of that engendered feeling of humanity, right? The shared humanity. It can be, you could believe something and I can believe something and they can believe something else. And it's okay. We all kind of come together and celebrate the bigger picture, and we appreciate that. And it's usually it shows itself in the kindness of others that you encounter as you walk around in the holiday season, or in moments like the bowling tournament, or like today, where we say, hey, let's just see if we can throw a little extra on top to help out these kids who have frankly a really terrible rough go. Like, they weren't dealt a good hand in life. They were dealt as bad a hand as you could possibly be dealt. And you think, well, we got an avenue, we got a chance, we can do something here and maybe help somebody. But I never know what that's going to look like. I never know how that's going to play out. I just hope that honestly, when we first started doing this way back when with the bowling tournament, it was like, man, if we could get like 10 toys for some kids and a couple $100, that'd be cool. And that's kind of the way it started. But each and every year, honestly, it was always more than I expected. It was always that people did more than I thought was possible, right? More than what seems even reasonable. It was just really cool. It was always, and I remember I would come home back when I lived by myself. This is long before I got married, before I had kids and all that, and your life perspective changes. I was living in a little apartment, and I remember thinking, this is incredible. This show, we were able to galvanize a bunch of people and raise a little bit of money for these kids. And I was kind of, not far removed from having worked with those kids. And so I would always be kind of emotional when I get home, like drained a little, just because I remember being hands-on in that situation, having to see that, right? But I was thankful. I was very thankful. And then you fast forward, I'm always talking about the markers of time and the areas, and a lot of times making fun of myself, how old I am, because I've done this for 25 years. The bowling tournament now is one of my favorite days because, it brings together a bunch of really good people for a great cause. And we have fun. We always have fun. But then also I mark the time with it. I'm like, well, 20 years of doing this. That guy had hair when we started. I had hair. He was skinny. He's now fat. I'm kind of fat. There's a lot of stuff happening here where I have kids. One's in high school. None of this was happening the last time. And it makes me smile. And I'm still blindsided by the people's generosity every time. It never fails. And today we set a new record. It's again, that blows me away.
So I can tell you, in addition to the contributions from the tournament itself on Monday, we are well north of $8,000 raised.
Wow.
In total.
You combining the tournament from Monday
the tournament
with
and
today.
what you see on the screen, plus a truckload of toys.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
When you decompress tonight and think about the gift that you gave today, everybody, just
the world.
Yeah, it means it does. It means the world. And I hope you understand. I don't know if it always comes across, but I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I know they will. This is a call. I'm about to make a call when we sign off here. I'm going to call Deborah Moore from the Guardian Ad Litem and tell her what just happened today. She's working. She's busy. She's doing what she's doing. So she doesn't have an opportunity to know this. So she'll pick up, and I'm going to get to tell her this good news.
Don't look at me.
And it will be fantastic to hear the excitement in her voice. Somebody who's out there on the front lines, doing the work, trying to save a life. So that's what'll happen. And that's thanks to you guys. We'll have an update, a final tally. It'll be on Monday. I am not going to do a show tomorrow. Tom is not either. And so we're off tomorrow, and we will be back on Monday. By then, a lot will be settled regarding not just obviously these totals that we tell you about, but what Florida State's doing with certain aspects of the portal. And we're that much closer to signing day, Tom. Can you believe it? It's about to happen.
That's nuts.
We got covered. It's going to be a busy week next week. That's kind of what we're readying ourselves for by taking tomorrow off from the show anyhow. But we will be here right up until signing day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have big shows. We'll have videos. We'll have live content. We'll have terrestrial radio show, podcast, all of it, warchant.com. All right.
7,000.
Golly, I mean, I would be breaking the rules here. We're on a radio station. I don't know. Should we?
Jonathan again.
Oh, buddy. That's really nice of you, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. That's unbelievable. Much love to all of you. Thank you.